Sun beginning to set here at Silverstone. The team's members out on the grid, and it is time for the final race of the day. Race 2 for the Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category. This will be a 50-minute race with pit stops and success penalties for the top 3 finishers in each class from race 1. Just noted down the starting drivers. Our thanks to Britcar Press Officer Steve Wood for sending those to us in the commentary box. Let's bring you the grid then. It is based on the results of race number 1. Pole position therefore goes to car number 10, which is the BMW of Woodrow Racing, the 1 Series M Coupe. It'll be Kevin Clark who starts that car this time. It was Simon Baker in race 1, but Kevin is going first this time. They will have a 15-second additional success penalty at their mandatory 2-minute pit stop. Alongside them will be number 74, Mark Lee. We'll bring you the rest of the grid in a moment. So we've got a couple of interviews to bring you, first of all.
In the paddock, and we're here with the Woodards. We've got Sean, we've got Daniel. Guys, first of all, how nice is it to be back racing? That's the first thing I want to know. We're here at sunny Silverstone, first weekend of the season. How nice is it to be back?
It's great to be back. We didn't do any racing last year due to the COVID situation, and we did a test 3-4 weeks ago, and it is really, really good to be back out there and fighting it again.
And Sean, I just want to ask about this car, because we couldn't get away from this. We walked into the paddock, and the first thing we saw was this, and we're thinking, is this in the right place? This is an amazing bit of machinery to be out there in a Britcar event. It's not your regular Mini, is it?
Definitely not regular. An awful lot of work's been done to it. We've been developing this car over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's fantastic. Lots of engine work. The brakes seem to surprise a lot of people. Most people think they can outbrake us, but the whole performance pads are exceptional, and it handles so well, especially around the tighter areas. So yeah, people underestimate the car.
And obviously it's a family affair with you two being brothers, and your dad's here as well helping mechanic the team. It must be lovely just to get out as a family and do something together, Sean.
It is. It's something we've done since I was 7 in terms of going to racing. It's just what we do, and it is a great family affair. And we're very welcoming to anybody who wants to come along, say hello, and talk to us. Because we've watched from the other side as well, so we know it's like being a spectator, and we're very lucky to be able to actually compete now in something as good as this.
And Daniel, on to the actual racing itself. Race 1 went well. What are we looking to change and improve on for race number 2?
The drivers, as in Sean and I, have got to improve. There's actually, unfortunately, nothing wrong with the car, so it's all down to us. And it's not funny. We're hoping for a top 3. If we can get third from where we're starting now, 5th in class, I think the third's on the car, and that'll be a good day.
From the driving perspective, what would you like to change?
What I would like to change is literally we've just got to get our braking points what are costing us too much, and we're turning in, certainly at the end of coming on to this last race, we're turning in too quickly. So we'll get that sorted. We know what we're doing wrong there. We've looked at the data, and I'm sure we can get that sorted.
Well, that's great to catch up with you. Best of luck for race 2.
Thank you very much.
Cars getting in position then. Good to hear from Team Woodard there. So pole position is car number 10, which will be started by Kevin Clark. As he said, they have a 15-second success penalty, first in their class in race 1. Alongside them will be number 74, Mark Lee in his Ginetta. He'll have a 10-second additional penalty at his pit stop. Second row, car number 40, Lucky Kera starts that car this time. They'll have a 5-second success penalty. And alongside them will be the number 7 car of Andy Stocco and Dave McDonald. To double check the starting driver for that one. I haven't written that one down for some reason. It will be Andy Stocco going first in that car. I always miss one out when I'm taking starting drivers for some reason. Third row of the grid, number 5, Tony Prendergast, and alongside him number 93, Kester Cook in the Fiesta. Yes, he's there. On the fourth row, number 15, which is Richard Higgins. He'll have a 15-second success penalty, won Class 2 in race 1. Alongside him, number 70, which is the Team Brits BMW, Matty Street starting that car. On row 5, number 2, will be started by Peter Spano. They have a 10-second penalty. Tearing with Andrew Bentley. Alongside them, number 62, which is the first of the Clios. That's the Colburns. Ben Colburn starts that car, and they'll have a 15-second penalty. Row 6, number 75, should be there. Unfortunately, that car's a non-starter. They've had engine problems. Dave Cox and George Haynes, they will not be starting. Engine issues for that car. So there's a gap there. 177 is there, though. That's the Clio of Andy Mollison and Ryan Firth. Ryan Firth is going first in that car. They have a 5-second success penalty, third in Class 2 in Race 1. Row 7, we have number 37, which is Daniel Crossley in his Scirocco, alongside number 41, which is the Thompson family. Aaron Thompson going first, sharing with Steve. They have a 10-second pit stop penalty. Row 8 is the car we've just heard from, the Woodards, in their BMW Mini. Sean Woodard is going first. Alongside them will be number 19, the Class 3 winner in Race 1, Jamie Vinnell-Meyer, starts this time. They have a 15-second pit stop penalty. On row 9, 144, which is the Ferrari, Chris Goddard starts that car, sharing with Richard Dougal. And alongside them, number 67, the Clio of Richard Coburn and James Black. They have a 5-second penalty. Richard Coburn will start. Row 10 is number 35. That's the rather battered from Race 1 Golf. Hopefully they've been able to repair that. Stephen Chandler will start, sharing with Glenn Stokes. Alongside number 35 is 27, Charlotte Birch with her Ginetta. Row 11 is number 11. Jay Morton starts that Clio, starting alongside, sharing with Miles Lacey. They start alongside 34, Alistair Lindsay in the Seat. Row 12, number 72, the BMW of Chris Murphy and Roland Hopkins. Roland is going first. 83 is the Cook family in their Honda Civic. It's Edward Cook going first. They have a 10-second penalty at their pit stop, second in Class 3 in Race 1. Row 13 is number 85, which is reigning champion Oliver Smith, sharing with Clinton Ewan. Oliver Smith is going first. Alongside them, 46, which is the Golf of Mark Jones and Rob Taylor. Mark Jones taking the start this time. They have a 5-second success penalty as the pace car leads them away. There is the green flag, quite literally. Row 14, we're still going with this grid. 71, Luke Pound in the Team Brit BMW, starts alongside 57 of Barry McMahon in the Alfa Romeo. Row 15, 47, which is the Gibbons Holden Ginetta. Derek Holden starts that car, sharing with Stuart Gibbons. Alongside number 8, the Porsche Boxer, the Gemco racing car, started by Lee Smart, sharing with Kevin Hancock. Row 16, number 4, the Clio of Anton Spires and Darren Gerhardt. Anton Spires starts that car, there it is. Alongside number 39 rather, which is Richard Bernard. Hopefully he's repaired his mechanical issues from the first race, number 39. Row 17, number 52, the Smart 4-4. Jonathan Barrett takes the start, sharing with Rob Baker. Alongside them, number 31, which is Paul de Hadre in his VW Scirocco. The penultimate row, 77, Matt Evans won't be starting. Damage from race 1 could not be repaired, the first lap incident. Number 50, Simon Kehrer should be there in his BMW. And the final row, 87, Brad Kaler with his Seat, is not there. Simon Kehrer's not there either. But at the very back, 316, Ivan Mayers. He was excluded from race 1 for a tyre infringement and has to start at the back of the grid for this one and run in an invitation class for non-compliant tyres in the first race. That's why he's back in the Mazda MX-5. Okay, I'm out of breath just from going through the grid. This is the final race of the day. 50 minutes, pit window opens 20 minutes in. Will my voice survive the distance? Will the cars survive the distance? Let's see what's going to happen this time. The 18th and final race of our first weekend of the season here on BARC TV. Thank you to all of you for watching. We've still got over 1,300 viewers. Over 1,500 likes on YouTube. Let's go out with a bang. Not literally, I hope. There's Ivan Mayers at the back in his Mazda MX-5. Kevin Clark on pole in the BMW. Mark Lee in the Ginetta alongside him. Watch for Lucky Kehrer. New front splitter, I noticed, on that BMW, starting alongside Andy Stocco. Here we go then. Brick Car Endurance Championship Trophy category. 50 minutes of racing about to get underway on the Silverstone International Circuits. Red lights are on the gantry. Almost 40 cars on the grid, keeping it steady at the moment. Waiting for the lights to go out. They go out and away we go. Good start by Matty Street, trying to come through the middle in the Team Brit BMW. Lucky Kera gets a good getaway, but it is Kevin Clark who leads the way into the first corner. Kera trying to get up the inside of Mark Lee. There's the Class 2 leader, Richard Higgins, in the Porsche. Chased by one of the Clios there. That was Ryan Firth. Let's hope they all get through the complex for the first time. Mark Lee has held his second place ahead of Kera. This huge variety of GTs, sports cars, saloons and hatchbacks charge their way towards Beckett's. Kevin Clark leads in the Woodrow BMW. Andy Stocco hasn't made the best of getaways there in number 7. He's dropped a few places. Anton Spires nearly contact with Charlotte Birch as they headed through Beckett's for the first time. Not the best of starts for the 47 either of Derek Holden as the leaders head into Stowe, and Lucky Kera is up into second place. Matty Street 4th. It's Tony Prendergast in the Scirocco in 5th position as they all stream their way out. As we said earlier, where else in all of motorsport can you see a Ferrari 355 and a Smart 44 in the same race? That's Brick Car, that's variety. Kevin Clark comes through to complete the first lap. The drivers swapping roles this time. Simon Baker started race 1 in that car. Likewise, the second place car, Lucky Kera, is first away, sharing with Jasvir Sapra. There's Matty Street. He sticks to his starting role in this one, as does Andy Stocco. He's lost out to Kester Cook in the Fiesta, down to 7th place. Keep an eye on the classes, of course. Remember, a few of them have slightly longer pit stops, a few seconds added on, as we gave you when we were reading through the call over of the grid. There's the Woodards in there. BMW Mini. I noticed one of the Woodard family is on our YouTube feed. That's Jasmine Woodard. Hello to you. Cheering on the family. There they are, just ahead of the 67. That's Richard Colburn in the Clio. Busy day for the Colburns, racing their Minis as well. One car that is charging through the field is the Smart 44 of Jonathan Barrett. He's made up 11 places on the opening lap, and Anton Spires as well, who had problems in race 1 and ended up retiring to the pits. He's up to 15th. Now, where did he start? 31st, up to 15th on the grid. That's a sensational start by the Clio racer. It's Kevin Clark out front in the BMW, leading from Lucky Kera. Kera's done the fastest lap of the race though, 1:11.801 on lap 2. Mark Lee in 3rd. These were the big 3 in race 1, and they've pulled away again by some 5 seconds from Matty Street in the Team Brit BMW in 4th. Well, while we enjoy the early laps of this race, earlier on Steve Jameson caught up with some more of our drivers. We'll still see the action. Let's hear from them down in the paddock before the race.
So here, Richard Spanner here with the Brick Car Trophy. Richard, great to be back, isn't it, here at Silverstone?
Great, yes.
And talk me through a little bit about race 1 first of all. How did you find it?
It was interesting because the grid is obviously much bigger than we used to last year. So we have 40 cars on the grid. It went very well for us actually. We got second in class. We got the fastest lap in class, fastest in terms of pole position as well. So yeah, still more to do for next race.
Well, you can see the engine open behind you. Your engineers and mechanics have been working really hard. What are you looking to change ahead of race 2?
Well, I mean, the guys are making sure that the car is up to speed, and we just need to work on my personal pace, to be honest. Actually, just get a little bit extra to catch up with the guy who finished in front of us in class.
And you mentioned there the increase in number of cars on the track. It's such a great grid this year, isn't it? And it makes it obviously more challenging for you. But I'm guessing as a driver, you just relish that. You want more and more out there, give you the best challenge possible.
Indeed, it was a little bit we were waiting for this race to see how other cars behave, because we know some cars from last year, but you never know what people done over the winter. We've done something, others done something, so it's interesting to see where we measure up compared to others.
And after the first race, you've had that first race out of your system, you now sort of know where the car's at, where you're at. How happy are you on a sort of scale? Plenty to improve on, or are you pretty pleased?
I'm pleased with what we achieved. I'm pleased with the pace of my co-driver. Actually, we need to work on my personal one, but still more to give.
Well, we wish you all the very best luck for race 2.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear from Peter Spano there, driving the number 2 Ginetta with Andrew Bentley, second in Class 2 in race 1. It's getting a bit tasty there for 4th place. The big 3 at the front in Class 1 have got away. We've got Kester Cook, Matty Street, Andy Stoko. They've all got ahead of Tony Prendergast, as has Richard Higgins, the Class 2 leader in the Porsche. So Prendergast in the Scirocco has dropped back. This is the main scrap at the moment. I noticed that one car joined the race a couple of laps late. That's the Stephen Chandler Glenn Stokes VW Golf. It was on the grid. I think it may have pulled into the pit lane at the end of the formation lap and then joined in a lap or 2 late. Extra repairs being made after that collision in race 1. I think they collided with Simon Carer because he's not on the grid for this one. Matty Street ahead of Andy Stoko. Here comes Richard Higgins. Kester Cook getting away slightly in the Fiesta in 4th place. I'd love to see Kester's Fiesta take on some of the Thunder Saloons. It's an absolute rocket, that little Ford. Into Vale they go. Matty Street holding on. Andy Stoko giving chase in that number 7, the BMW M240i, one of the newer models of Beamer. Both of those cars are, Street and Stoko. And we have another interview with Steve Jameson down in the pits. He's talking to Rob Baker, the Smart team.
Yeah, you join us down in the paddock with an absolutely crazy man. Jonathan Barrett, you're the co-driver in the Smart car. This is the first time I've ever seen a Smart car in a race like this. It's an incredible bit of kit. You've made it work. And we're going to be in the way here. We very nearly got run over as a Smart car comes in. We might have to let you go, Jonathan, I reckon here.
So, unfortunately.
That's all right. We wish you all the very best of luck.
Well, we've heard of the curse of the commentator. That was the curse of the interviewer. Because just as we were talking to the crew of that Smart car, unfortunately, it's pulled into the pit garage and looks to be out of the race. And apologies there, I was told it was Jonathan Barrett starting that car, but in fact it was Rob Baker in the car. Sorry about that. Blame Steve Wood from Britcar. So thanks to him for all his help this weekend. He has been very helpful down the pit lane, but sadly the Smart in problems. So over 42 minutes of the race to go. It's when there's 30 minutes to go that the pit window opens in this race. Trio of Clios battling together there. Here's the fight between Stoko and Higgins. Kevin Clark continues to lead. He's 2.5 seconds up now on Lucky Kira. Mark Lee third, it's Kester Cook. This is the battle for 5th position between these 4. The Clio fight is for 9th place, and those 3 Clios we saw, not all in the same class, because Ryan Firth is one of them. He's a Class 2 car, different spec of Clio. There he is, with Anton Spires behind him, sharing with Darren Gerhardt. Goes for the inside at Beckett's. There's another Clio closing up as well. That's the 41, Aaron Thompson. They still can't dislodge Matty Street from this 5th place in the Team Brit car. Here's the Clios. This group being led by the black Clio, that's Ben Colburn, sharing with his brother James in this race, the Gardex sponsored car. Matty Street, a little bit of understeer there going into Vale, but he hangs on ahead of a very brightly coloured BMW of Stoko. Hand over to Dave McDonald. Lead gap is up to 2.6 seconds. Clark ahead of Lucky Kira. Mark Lee about 3 seconds further back in 3rd. There's Richard Bernard. I'll try not to say too much after I cursed him in race 1. There's the leader. Kevin Clark in that spectacular BMW. Well, we saw a double in Brit Car Endurance category yesterday for John Seal and Jamie Stanley in the JMH Automotive Lamborghini. Will we see a double for the BMW today? It's taking it steady at the moment. Kara in second place. This is on the British Touring Car Support Package. He's done the Ginettas, now in the Porsches. Porsche Carrera Cup GB. He's also the Ferrari Challenge UK champion. He's done road sports, he's done BMW Championship. He's done everything. Here's that battle for 5th place. Still the 4 of them nose to tail. Let's have a look at the class battles further back. Number 1 is us overall. Richard Higgins leading Class 2 ahead of Ryan Firth's Clio and Daniel Crossley's Scirocco third. The Clio class, we know their standings. We saw them a moment ago. The Colburns ahead of Anton Spires and Aaron Thompson. In Class 3, Jamie Vinalmeyer leading in his Ginetta ahead of the Cook family Civic. Edward Cook on board that car. And Mark Jones in the Golf third. And a new class you'll notice has appeared. Class 3 Invitation. That's because Ivan Mayers in the MX-5 running on non-compliant tyres for Class 3. As we know, he was excluded from race 1 for that, and he's having to run in his own class in this race. There he is, the grey MX-5. Got the Alfa Romeo behind him there. That's Barry McMahon, the Irishman. Here comes Kester Cook, running on a rather lonely 4th place at the moment. There's Lucky Kera. There's Mark Lee. It's quite spread out now, the lead grid. 3.5 seconds in it between 1st and 2nd. 6 seconds between Kera and Lee. Mark Lee, the lead soloist at the moment in the Ginetta. Here's the battle for the Clio lead, and Anton Spires has taken over. So Anton Spires now leads the Clio class. He's come through from the back of the grid after that car failed to finish in race 1. And because of that non-finish, that number 4 car hasn't got a success penalty. So things working in its favour already. Even before the pit stops, he's in the class lead. Anton Spires, a very quick Clio racer, been racing Clios for a number of seasons. He did the Michelin Clio series. A lot of these cars featured in that series, and of course the Clio Cup that supported British touring cars for so many years. It's always very spectacular, created a British touring car champion in Ash Sutton. So other British touring car racers like Mike Bushell, Antwort Niels as well, graduated from Clios. Also Paul Rivette, who went on to race trucks and things. Truck racing coming up on BARC TV later this year. 37.5 minutes left on the clock. Still the pit window a few minutes away. There's the 37, Daniel Crossley, 3rd in Class 2. Running in among the Clio battle. This is 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Peter Spano, we heard from him earlier in the Diabetes UK backed Ginetta. He's got the Class 3 leading car behind him. That's a little Ginetta G20 as well up. Jamie Vinalmeyer, successful Formula Ford racer. There is the Class 2 leader, that's Richard Higgins. And he's got through into 6th position ahead of Andy Stoker. Is it me, or is that number 7 BMW struggling a bit? Doesn't seem to have the pace it did in race 1. Here's the fight for 14th. Spano 4th in Class 2, Vinalmeyer leading Class 3, and here comes the leader, and he's already lapped everybody up to 16th placed Chris Goddard in the Ferrari. We believe it's Richard Dougal who's going to take over that car, although it's, again, only listed as Chris Goddard driving solo on the timing. And we're now going to hand back down to our very own Ted Kravitz. Steve Jameson is down in the pit lane.
Well, welcome back down to the pit lane. And the last time we saw you, Rob, you nearly ran us over when you came into the pits. It's
yeah, sorry.
all war under the bridge, mate, not a problem. But talk us through the race, because we were enjoying watching the car so much in the early stages of that race. Sadly, the race comes to an end. What's happened?
She's been having overheating problems over the weekend. We thought we'd sorted it. Decided better go out, at least try it. But It feels very much similar to basically the head lifting on the boost, and that's basically causing it to overheat. So it looks like engine rebuild job.
It's a huge shame, of course. We've loved seeing this car out on track in the trophy so far. The idea of seeing a smart car compete with a Ferrari, for example, is something that could only happen in Brit Car Trophy. How much have you enjoyed the weekend, even given how it's ended?
Oh, I mean, that particular session just then, I was loving every minute of it. If it hadn't been for the overheating, I just driving with a big smile on my face. It was handling absolutely superb. Power was there when it wasn't overheating. Yeah, it was everything I wanted. All we can do is look forward to the next round, hopefully. And we got a few tricks up our sleeves mid-season, so I'd like to be up there at the front.
Well, we'd love to hear it, Rob. We'll let you get back to it, let you get back to the lab, and we'll see you at the next one.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Great shame there for Rob Baker and Jonathan Barrett out of the race with the Smarts 4-4. It's a good battle going on for 7th and 8th place we saw there while the interview was on. Tony Prendergast has got past Richard Higgins. There's the number 17 Scirocco. That's Kieran Griffin. I don't think we saw Kieran out in race 1. To see him doing some laps here. He's currently in 21st place. There's Mark Lee, still 3rd in the Ginetta. What's the lead gap now? It's out to nearly 6.5 seconds now between this man, Lucky Kira, in 2nd place, and Kevin Clark, your race leader. Pit stops just under 4 minutes away. Jamie Vinolmeyer, the Class 3 leader, the little Ginetta G20. That's has to be one of my star cars of the weekend. They're showing great pace. They lapped all their class rivals in race 1. How much are they leading the class by this time? They're in the lead of Class 3. Who's 2nd in Class 3? Yes, the Cook family Honda is down in 24th place overall. Jamie Vinolmeyer is 14th. So they're a cut above the rest. Top of the class, literally. Jamie Vinolmeyer sharing with Steve Griffiths, that little Jetta G20. There was a one-make series, I believe, for those at one time. It was either them or G27s, the little open-top Ginettas. New flag being shown to the back markers. Seldom faster cars are coming through, but that's a constant hazard in a race like this with cars with such a gulf in performance. There goes the leader, there's Kevin Clark. The gap is still 6.4 seconds to Lucky Kira in Jasvir Sapra's BMW. Mark Lee 10 seconds back on that in 3rd place. Then Colbert dives past Lee Smart in the Gemco Boxster. Boxer, of course, sadly didn't get to race. Anthony Hutchins, number 80, bad luck to him. His engine failed in qualifying. So a couple of minutes' time, the pit window will open. Kevin Clark still with the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 11.650. So he's only a few tenths off his pace from race 1. Comes up on the Boxer, a bit of a lock-up from the race leader there. Is he pushing too hard? Got a sizable lead over Lucky Kira. Just the one retirement so far, sadly, that being the Smarts of Rob Baker and Jonathan Barrett, but always good fun. It's a shame because that car was electric through the field in the early laps there in the hands of its owner Rob Baker, and then overheating problems striking, as we heard. There's that Clio battle still going on. Has been an excellent season opener for the Brit Car Endurance Championship, the Endurance field yesterday. So many of you watching and enjoying the action. Let's see 1,200 of you still watching now on YouTube, plenty more probably on the Facebook feed. There's Richard Higgins still leading Class 2 and chasing Andy Stocco. They're battling for 7th place. Mark Jones in the Golf just ahead of them. That's a Class 3 car. I think they're running currently 3rd. Yes, 3rd in Class 3. 20 seconds behind the Cook family Honda Civic. There's your class standings. Class 1 is as overall. Class 2, Higgins leading, Ryan Firth in the Clio second, Daniel Crossley's Scirocco third. Clio class, Anton Spires from Ben Colburn, Aaron Thompson. Class 3 we've been through. Class 3 invitation, just one runner, Ivan Mares in the Mazda MX-5. Just a few seconds until the pit window opens. The lead gap has come down slightly. Lucky Kira has gained a few tenths on our race leader Kevin Clark. There's the reigning champion Oliver Smith attacking Sean Woodard in the BMW Mini. There's the Cook family Honda behind them, Edward Cook sharing with Steve. And the pit window has just opened. So who's going to be the first taker? Edward Cook in 83, running second in Class 3. Well behind the Ginetta though, of Jamie Vinnell-Meyer. Dodging about there, taking on Kester Cook in his Fiesta. He's still in fourth overall, and fourth in Class 1. Class 1 cars holding the first 7 places. There's the 72 car, the Whitebridge Motorsport BMW with Roland Hopkins on board. There's Ivan Mares ahead of it. Paul Sheard automotive run car. We have our first pit caller, it is Andy Stoko, and our second, there's Lee Smart coming in the background in the Boxster. Andy Stoko will hand over to Dave McDonald. There is the BMW. Checking something on the left front there. He said this car didn't seem to have much of the pace it did in race 1. They haven't got a pit penalty, it's a standard 2-minute stop, just checking the tyre pressures there. Dave McDonald will take over. Also in was the Peter Spano Ginetta. Andrew Bentley will take over that car. And the 67 Clio has come in. James Black will hand over to Richard Colburn. Kieran Griffin has brought his Scirocco in as well. Lee Smart handing over to Kevin Hancock in the Boxster. Other of the Sciroccos coming in there. Who is that? And it hits the timing line. Well, no, it's Tony Prendergast. He made an early stop in race 1 as well. He was lying 5th. Got ahead of Matty Street in the Team Brits car. Tyre pressures being checked on the Canyon Racing BMW M240. Has to sit stationary for a minimum of 2 minutes. The car, of course, has to be sanitised between drivers. So only a few pit callers so far as the sun sets here on Silverstone. Lead gap is up to 8.7 seconds as out goes the Canyon Racing BMW. Dave McDonald takes it out. Tony Prendergast in the pit lane. Lee Smith takes Dan Woodard. Where are they battling for at the moment? That's for 22nd place and 8th in Class 2. One of the front runners yet making their pit calls. Stephen Chandler's come in to hand over to Glenn Stokes. Matty Street has brought the Team Brits BMW in. Andy Tucker is going to take over there. Still Kevin Clark keeps up his place. He's lapping in the 1 minute 12s. There is the number 70 BMW. Out gets Matty Street. In goes the fuel. Cannot refuel, of course, with the driver in the car for safety reasons. Be Andy Tucker to get in. The Team Brits, a team of ex-servicemen. Such a great initiative, Team Brits, helping those with physical and psychological problems to overcome them through motor racing. Lead gap now up to 8.8 seconds for Kevin Clark over Lucky Kira. Mark Lee's Ginetta still in third, but he's 17 seconds back now. There's our Class 2 leader, the blue Porsche, still up there in 6th overall. It's a good run by Richard Higgins. Could he be a title contender this year in that Porsche 996? Run by County Classics. Lucky Kira coming up behind him. There's Alistair Lindsay, ex-golf man in his Seat Leon. by Capital Compactors and Balers. But you could say he put in a crushing performance. Team Brits still working on the BMW, getting Andy Tucker nicely tucked in. Door closes. It's to sit stationary for the minimum of 2 minutes. There's Mark Lee, transport company owner. There's Ginetta still there in third. Kester Cook has come in the Fiesta. The Thompson Clio has come in, so Steve Thompson takes over from Aaron. Charlotte Birch has made her pit stop as well in the Ginetta. Jay Morton is coming to hand over to YouTuber Miles Lacey in the Clio, a late replacement for Matt Cherrington. Clio team. Mark Jones handing over to Rob Taylor, has brought the Golf in, and the Alfa Romeo of Barry McMahon has stopped as well. Still the three leaders haven't made any pit calls. Kevin Clark continues to pound round, still in the 1 minute 12s. See what the gap is this time, back to Lucky Kira. There is the grey BMW. It's up to nearly 11 seconds now, so he's pulling away. They've lapped Richard Higgins, Class 2 leader. With pit stops, Anton Spires have got the Clio up to an amazing 5th overall. He's come in now to hand over to Darren Gerhardt. And his class rival, Ben Colburn, is coming to hand over to brother James as well. They were only 6 seconds apart for the lead of the Clio class. And Mark Lee's brought the Ginetta in this time. There is the Anton Spires car, number 4, run by Spires Motorsports. There's Tony Prendergast, he's already made his stop. Darren Gerhardt will get into the number 4 Clio. Regular race winner in the road class of the Michelin Clio series. 23 minutes to go now. So we're past halfway. Mark Lee's brought the Ginetta in from 3rd place. First of the big 3, if you like to stop at the front of the field. That'll put Richard Higgins into the top 3 overall. There he goes over the line. Temporarily at least, he's yet to stop. Beautiful chrome blue Porsche. The gap up to 12.5 seconds now. There's number 41, Steve Thompson, now on board, taking over from Aaron. 11 Clio behind them with Miles Lacey aboard. The majority of the field has made their stops. 2 leaders haven't. Richard Higgins, Ryan Firth, Daniel Crossley, Jamie Vinolmeyer has yet to come in. Oliver Smith, the reigning trophy champion, is in, and the Woodard you can see in the background as well. Clinton Ewan taking over this BMW Z4. And it'll be Daniel Woodard taking over the Bucket Manufacturing Company sponsored BMW Mini. Alistair Lindsay continues with the Seat. He hasn't made his stop yet. So cars that haven't stopped. Kevin Clark, I think, has come in this time. Yes, and Lucky Kera. They've come in on the same lap, the 2 leaders. So the leaders pit together. This is going to be interesting. 10 and the 40. We'll see who comes out ahead. Out goes the BMW Mini, Daniel Woodard. Is that the Team Brit, number 70 back in the pit lane I saw there? Or did it not leave the pits? No, it hasn't gone back out, so just spotted it there. So Andy Tucker did not go back out. Problems for Team Brit. It's a great shame because they were running in the top 5 early on. So the 2 leaders have come in. The Class 3 leader we catch a glimpse of coming in there. That's Jamie Vinolmeyer to hand over to Steve Griffiths. So this will make effectively your... Oh, and is that smoke or steam from Lucky Kera's car? Problems possibly there for the number 40, or is that just heat from the brakes? Appears to be a problem there. could be bad news for Lucky Kera and Jasvir Sapra. Not too sure what that was all about. So this makes Richard Higgins effectively our overall race leader with those two cars in the pit lane. He's yet to stop. Daniel Crossley has yet to stop. Simon Green Motorsport looking on. Whether that's mechanical or whether just a bit of heat, or doesn't look like it's overheating, but seems to be coming from the right area. Ryan Firth is still out there in his Clio, so it's Class 2 cars which will be setting the pace overall, although Firth has just come in the Clio. Chris Goddard has yet to stop in the Ferrari. Alistair Lindsay in the Seat has yet to come in. And Ivor Mayers in the Mazda, there he is. So only about 5 cars now that have not yet made their pit stops. There's Ryan Firth. Out of the Clio, Andy Mollison will get in. That Team Brit's car just ahead of them there, the number 70, still in the pit lane, so problems for them. There's Daniel Crossley. Now it's the time we wait to see when everything's going to cycle back through. The 40 car is back out there. Now it's on track ahead of Kevin Clark, but if they did have additional problems there, are they a lap apart, or has Jasvir Sapra emerged ahead of Simon Baker? There they are in the background, and yes, the grey number 40 is ahead of Simon Baker's car. We'll have to wait and see what lap they're on as they come round. Now, has the grey BMW had problems and it stopped? We saw that bit of steam or smoke. Did it spend longer in the pits? If not, they did come out together. That means that Jasvir Sapra has come out in front. See as they cross the timing line. Daniel Crossley has come in, so this makes the blue Porsche, there it is, Richard Higgins, your overall race leader. The Class 2 car. Come across the timing line, the two BMWs, and yes, Jasvir Sapra is ahead of Simon Baker, so he's made up that place in the pits. Daniel Crossley has come in, so when Richard Higgins comes in, this is going to make Sapra and Kera leaders of the race. And there's the Porsche coming in now. Number 15 disappears behind the barriers. Richard Higgins is in from the lead of the race. Alistair Lindsay's come in as well. Chris Goddard is in. I think it's Richard Dougal taking over the Ferrari. So everybody has made their stop now, with the exception of Ivor Mayers in the Mazda MX-5. He'll be the last man to make his stop. Andy Tucker, I think, has rejoined the track after those problems in the pits. There's number 7, Dave McDonald, one of the first of the front runners to pit. There's Alistair Lindsay, the Seat. A bit of steam coming off that car as well. It's just how hard they're working these cars out there. Now, where are the BMWs? Baker and Sapra are the two we're going to watch, because wait to see if Simon Baker can get back ahead of Jasvir Sapra. There's the Colburn Clio. Pick up the class leaders once everybody's cycled through and taken their pit stops. Because everybody in a multi-car class now has, of course, Ivor Mayers, because of the tyre rule, is running in a class on his own. So we know he'll be in this class. Richard Bernard runs over the curbs in the Amigo Motorsport Porsche Boxster. 16.5 minutes to go now, waiting to pick up what will be the leading BMWs. Wait to see if Simon Baker's been able to get back ahead of Jasvir Sapra. Well, there is Simon Baker. Is he ahead of the number 40 car? I think he is. I think he's got past him, you know, out of our sight there during the pit stops. Yes, he has. There's Sapra. There's Baker. So Simon Baker is back in the lead of the race. He's pulling away from Jasvir Sapra as well. Sapra lapping in the 14s, Baker still in the 1:12s. So the number 40, the Simon Green Motorsport BMW, did lead out of the pits, but it didn't take long for Simon Baker to get back in front, so maybe the 40 car does have a slight problem. Where is your leader? Looks like everything is mostly cycled through now, so in a lap or two we'll give you the standings and the class positions. Everybody has now made their stops. Ivan Meyers has come in, so everyone has stopped. A couple of cars have come into the pits again. Unfortunately, the Thompson family Clio, number 41, is back in. The Hancock Smart Boxster and the Chandler Stokes Golf. There's Ivan Meyers in the invitation class 3i, with the MX-5. Only one retirement so far, because the Team Brit BMW did go back out. It lost a few laps, but it has continued. Yeah, the lead gap increased by nearly another second on that last lap, so the number 40 car, I think, is struggling a bit. Here's our third place man, Mark Lee. We'll try and give you an update on the positions. Your leader is number 10, Baker and Clark. Simon Baker, there he is. Second place, Jasvir Sapra in the number 40 car. There he is, just monstering through the back markers. Third place, number 74, Mark Lee. It's Kester Cook fourth in number 93, and fifth, number 7, Dave McDonald. Sixth is the number 5 of Tony Prendergast with his Scirocco. Seventh, Richard Higgins, he's still leading Class 2 in the Porsche. Eighth is his nearest class rival, which is Andrew Bentley, number 2 in the Ginetta. They're separated by nearly 18 seconds. Ninth place is the Anton Spires Darren Gerhardt's Clio, which leads the Clio class. Daniel Crossley, third in Class 2, is 10th in number 37. The Colburns are next, Ben and James. James on board in their Clio, second in class. Andy Mollison down at 12th, sharing with Ryan first. Charlotte Birch is 13th, Kieran Griffin 14th, and the Goddard Dougal Ferrari is 50th. Class 3 is still being led by the Ginetta G20 with Steve Griffiths on board. They're 17th overall. Second in Class 3 we can see is the Cook family Honda, and Jones and Taylor's Golf running third in Class 3. 13 minutes to go. That's how it's panned out after the pit stops. Once again, Simon Baker pulling away Jasvir Sapra. A bit like the start of the first race, isn't it? This is effectively race 1 in reverse, because they did it the other way round. It was Baker and Sapra who started race 1 and then relayed Clark and Kera. They've done it the other way round this time. There's Baker, down towards Vale. There's Kester Cook, running well in the Fiesta. There's the Golf of Chandler and Stokes. That's had to make a second stop. It's going again. You can see it's got a borrowed front end stuck to it after that contact. I think it hit Simon Kera at the start of race 1. Matt Evans involved as well. That car sadly too badly damaged to continue today. Now 12 minutes to go. There's the Canyon Racing BMW in 5th place. So McDonald back on the pace. 8.3 seconds now the lead gap. Yeah, Baker's last lap nearly 2 seconds quicker than Jasvir Sapra. He has lapped everybody up to 5th place to McDonald now. Dominance from this BMW today. The BMW 1 Series M Coupe. Similar car raced by Mike Moss with his Moss Motorsport team. That's unfortunately not here this weekend. It's Kieran Griffin hassling one of the Ginettas out, the 27 of Charlotte Birch he's chasing. It's for 13th place. Donald. Very bright livery. You wouldn't miss that in a night race, would you? That's BMW. Lapping the 47 of Stuart Gibbons. Richard Bernard, the next man to be lapped. He's just hoping for a finish this time. There is our Class 2 leader. Good day for Richard Higgins, going for a double class victory. Ferrari still going there. There's the Team Brit BMW, that's back out, the number 70. Good to see it's still running. Steve Griffiths leading Class 3 in the little Ginetta. They've had a great day, those two, Steve Griffiths and Jamie Vinol-Meyer. Behind him is the Class 2 leader. The two class leaders in one shot. Still the number 4 Clio leads their category in 9th overall. That's great from Spires and Gerhardt, largely due to all the work that Spires did in the early stages, rocketing up the order from the back. No pit penalty helped as well after their non-finish in race 1, but Darren Gerhardt's now doing the work for them. Richard Higgins flying solo in his Porsche. He's heading for a double class win, barring any disaster. How far ahead is he in Class 2? Ahead of Andrew Bentley. Nearly 17 seconds. 10 minutes to go. Just under 10 minutes. The lead gap now up to 11 seconds. Although the lap times for the two leading BMWs were virtually identical last time through. Mark Lee a further 30 seconds back in third place with his Ginetta. How's our reigning champion doing? Let's have a look down the time. In 21st, the car started by Ollie Smith. Clinton Ewan now on board. There's the number 62, the Colburns, and battling for position with Daniel Crossley and Anton Spires. That's the Clio class leader. Battling for position for 9th place with Daniel Crossley. He's a Class 2 car. And the Colburns are not finished yet because they're only just behind there. James Colburn in the black car. He could catch Darren Gerhardt's for the lead of the Clio class here. There they are. Watch for that black Clio with the red trim. That's James Colburn. Darren Gerhardt's leads the class in number 4. Watch for Colburn. There he is. He's behind Kester Cook. Just getting past the Alfa Romeo there. Kester Cook 4th overall. Some 22 seconds off Mark Lee, so I don't think he's going to get on the podium unless one of the 3 cars ahead has a problem. Spires holding off Daniel Crossley. That's for 9th overall. But the car he needs to be worried about is this one. James Colburn. Let's have a look at their lap times. Yeah, Colburn was a second quicker last time around, 1:17, as opposed to a 1:18.9. Even a 1:17.7. We could see a change for the lead of the Clio class towards the end of this one if he can get past Daniel Crossley in that Scirocco. That's the main focus of the class battles at the moment, and if the Scirocco goes through here up into 9th, that will remove the buffer that Darren Gerhardt has and allow James Colburn to attack him. So there, Gerhardt, you can see, working to get away and put air between him and the Scirocco as Colburn up the inside. Okay, he's got past the obstacle there. There's a car back in the pit lane. Problems for Alistair Lindsay in the Seat. He's back in the pits. There is Jasvir Sapra dropping back into second place. Have we had the move made? And have we had the move made? Yes, we have. Well, coming through onto the hanger straight. Yes, James Colburn has got through. I knew it wouldn't be long as soon as he was past Daniel Crossley. Very quick driver, James Colburn, as he proved in his Mini earlier. Now it's Crossley's turn to get in Darren Gerhardt's way. They are in different classes, but enjoying a good race here. So we have a new leader in the Clio category, and it's James Colburn in the black Cataclean car. Terraclean car, I should say. Over the line he goes. 9th place overall as well. Gerhardt's dropping back into second in class, 3rd in the Clio category. Here's now the Richard Colburn car, shared with James Black, because fortunately the Thompsons have dropped out. So they're in the pits, and the Hancock and Smart Boxster is out as well. The last car running is Andy Tucker in the Team Brit BMW, had problems at their pit stop. Gibbons, Holden, Ginettas dropped back considerably as well. They're 5 laps down. 5.5 minutes remain on this BARC weekender at Silverstone. The Woodard family are certainly cheering on their BMW Mini. A lot of love for them on the YouTube comments. They're currently 19th, 7th in class. "35 laps completed by our leader." There is Simon Baker in the Woodard BMW, in the Woodrow BMW. I've got Woodard's on the brain here. Sponsored by Aircon for home. Leading by nearly 14 seconds now. Now, last lap was a bit slower than Jasvir Sapra, but that's because they were in traffic. See the back markers they've just overtaken there. Mark Lee still third. Then we've got Kester Cook in 4th place. Cook will soon be lapped, so we'll only have 3 cars on the lead lap by the look of things in this one. Thanks so much for staying with us. Still over 1,000 of you viewing on YouTube. Over 1,500 likes as well on our YouTube feed. Thank you so much to all of you for watching over the weekend. BARC TV is nothing without you, the viewers. Hope you've had an enjoyable weekend watching us. Of course, no spectators allowed here at Silverstone at the moment. There's a couple of cars being given stop-go penalties. 5 seconds for car 316, that's Ivor Mares, and an 8-second stop-go for number 5, Tony Prendergast. Presumably there for pit stop infringements. Just got notification of those come through. Tony Prendergast in 6th place and 6th in class, and Ivor Mares have stop-go penalties to take, presumably pit stop infringements. So it's short pit stops. There is Ivor Mares. Every time I mention Ivor Mares, he appears on our feed. There's the 2nd place man, Jasvir Sapra, 15 seconds down now on this man, Simon Baker. Couple of laps to go now. Our final race of the weekend here at Silverstone. There's a flag being hung out there for car number 85, Oliver Smith and Clinton Ewan. I couldn't tell whether that was a black flag or a black and white warning flag. My position. 2 minutes to go though. It's going to be a second win of the day for the number 10. It's going to be a double-double in Brick Car. We had JMH Automotive's Lamborghini score a double in endurance yesterday. Trophy category, it is going to be the Woodrow BMW team. There's Mark Lee in the Ginetta. We've not seen much of him in this race. Been a bit of a lonely race for him apart from Lappery. He's going to take 3rd. Richard Higgins is going to win Class 2, although Andrew Bentley has got the gap down to just over 12 seconds. Main battle was in the Clio class, but it's the Colburn brothers heading for victory in that one. The 15-second success penalty to overcome. It's going to be a double win for them. It's going to be a double in Class 3 for the Ginetta and in Class 2, so it's all double winners all the way in this one. 1 minute to go. There is Richard Higgins. There is our leader. Looks like it is going to possibly be checkered flag this time. We'll wait and see. Oh, the Team Brit BMW slowing again. More problems for Andy Tucker. Great shame for them. Where's their other car? The number 71 of Luke Pound. He's 26th, 4th in class. Simon Baker can just ease it home now. Wondering if he might have backed off so he doesn't have to do an extra lap at the end of the race. Can take the checkered flag this time. I think that's what he's trying to do. He has eased off. Well, a dominant day for the number 10 Woodrow BMW team with their BMW 1 Series M Coupe. Its first weekend of Brit Car Endurance Championship trophy category for 2021. They won the first race at a canter. Kevin Clark started and relayed Simon Baker in race 2. And there is the checkered flag. It's a double for the Woodrow team. The BMW wins Brit Car Trophy race 2. Waiting for second place to come through. Second place goes to Jasvir Sapra, sharing with Lucky Kira. 13.5 seconds down or so. Further back, Mark Lee in his Ginetta will take third position. The only other car on the lead lap will be Kester Cook in the Fiesta. What a great run he's had. Pleasingly, Team Brit Andy Tucker does make it home, despite those problems. The battle here between Clinton Ewan and Richard Bernard. That's for position as well. It's for 21st place, fight for every place to the end. Clinton Ewan takes it. Richard Bernard behind, and the Ginetta getting in on the act there as well. Could tell whether that was Andy Bentley or Charlotte Birch, similarly coloured cars those. So the win goes to Baker and Clark, 50 minutes, 4.086 seconds. Jasvir Sapra and Lucky Kira second. Mark Lee takes third, 39 laps completed. The only other car to complete 39 laps was Kester Cook. Fifth went to Stoko and McDonald in their BMW, good effort by them. Tony Prendergast sixth in the VW Scirocco. Seventh and Class 2 winner Richard Higgins, well done to him, he takes Class 2. The Clio class goes to the Colburn brothers. And Class 3 will go to the little Ginetta G20, Steve Griffiths and Jamie Vinol-Meyer. Here's your result then, provisional result confirmed. 4 cars on the lead lap, Baker and Clark ahead of Sapra, Kira, Lee third, Cook fourth, then Stoker, McDonald, Prendergast sixth, Richard Higgins seventh, ahead of Peter Spano and Andrew Bentley in their Ginetta. Colburn win the Clio class in 9th, and Daniel Crossley in his Scirocco rounds out the top 10. Anton Spires and Darren Gerhardt's great effort by them, couldn't quite hold back the Colburns. A great result to come through for 11th, though. Mollison and Firth in the Clio Endurance car 12th. Kieran Griffin 13th, Paul de Hadre 14th, the Goddard Ferrari takes 15th. Behind them, Charlotte Birch came in 16th place, ahead of the Colburn and Black, Coburn Senior that is, in their Clio 17th. Class 3 winners, Griffiths and Vinol-Meyer taking 18th place, then the Woodards 19th and 7th in class, ahead of Morton and Lacey in their Clio, completing the top 20. Smith and Ewan, reigning champion Oliver Smith 21st, ahead of Richard Bernard in the Porsche Boxster. Murphy and Hopkins behind them, then Jones and Taylor second in class in their Golf, ahead of the Cook family in their Honda Civic. Stephen Chandler and Glenn Stokes, a tough weekend for them. They made the finish in 26th place. Luke Pound 27th for Team Brits, then the Mazda of Ivan Mayers in the invitation class, and we lost Alistair Lindsay I think late on there. Barry McMahon behind him in the Alfa Giulietta. Behind them, the Gibbons, Holden, Ginetta, Tucker and Street in the BMW after problems at the pit stop. And 3 retirements, the Thompson Clio, Hancock and Smart in the Boxster, and of course the Smart 4.4 of Baker and Barrett. Okay, let's head down then to Steve Jameson down in Parc Fermé, talk to some of the drivers.
Yeah, down here in Parc Fermé with our winners, Simon Baker, Kevin Clark. A huge congratulations. That is overall a very successful day, I would say. How do you two reflect on it?
Right, yeah, real fantastic day, beautiful day for racing, so real good.
And some lovely driving out there from the pair of you. It seemed to go pretty flawlessly from the outside. How do you guys reflect on it?
It was a bit touch and go when I went out. It was a bit dicey, but yeah, really enjoyable. But the track was really slippy, to be fair. So took a bit of getting used to, but real good fun. But,
Kevin, you were out off the start in this second one. You had the task of bringing it home first time round. Start is always a bit of a dicey one with such a packed grid. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was tricky. I mean, it sounds easy when you just go off the front and just slowly pull away, but it's not, because everybody's using you as the braking area, so you do have to be cautious with it. But I think I did a great job. It helps when you've got a fantastic car. I mean, Woodrow Motorsport built a fantastic car. It's just you really struggle to better that within its class. It's just like the best thing. I mean, I've driven a few cars in this class, and by far the best thing I've ever driven.
And from your guys' perspective, obviously it's first weekend back, first one of the season in the Brit Car Trophy. Obviously it's tough to get much better than that as a weekend goes, but how much have you enjoyed being back this weekend?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Brit Car is so professional, so just the place to be at the moment with racing. So real good.
Well, we wish you a very big congratulations. Of course, we can't wait to watch you again at the next one, and get back to the lab and enjoy the celebrations.
Right, yeah.
Thanks very much. Cheers.